Hello and welcome to the Ruby and Roses channel. My name is Addy and I am the yarn dyer and creator behind Ruby and Roses yarn, and in this video today I'm going to be sharing how I come up with props and a certain aesthetic for the collections that I release. Not only am I going to be sharing a lot of photos before I've even released them on my Instagram page, which will be linked down below if you want to check it out, because I'm only going to be sharing a few of the colorways from this collection as well as their photos in this video, and the rest will be released on Instagram. But I am really excited to share this new thing with you because I've never really done a studio edition vlog that's centered around this topic, and I think it'll be really cool to share with you some of the fun props that I've been gathering. Like for instance, over here, my favorite one that's still at my house since I'm in my apartment now, but I'm going to head over to the studio pretty soon. But look at these really fun roses. I cannot wait to incorporate these in my photos. So yeah, I have not only collected some dried roses that I had a really fun time drying for the first time, but I'm also going to be sharing a lot of fun other things. And I think the most important thing of all to talk about is going to be the theme for this collection, since I've never released it on any platform yet, and now it's officially time, so I couldn't be more thrilled. I'm almost heading to the studio, but I had to tell you the theme before I go any further because it is just so good. I've had this idea to do a collection based upon the theme, the letter writer. So it's just a really special thing that's close to my heart that I've wanted to just create colorways around. So the letter writer is just this quintessential idea that brings to mind the forgotten art of letter writing. Made popular during the Victorian era, letter writing became a part of history. I really hoped to capture those romanticized and traditional moments in these colorways. Now that I'm at the studio, I'm going to be winding some of this yarn because, as you can see, there's so many different bases and yarn types in here that just feature all of the different colorways. And yeah, it's just gonna be a lot of fun to go through those and wind them up because I'm going to be having all of the bases represented in these photos, which is something I've never done before. And there's gonna be a lot of firsts coming with this collection if you can't tell. But I'm going to be doing one base of all of the bases that I carry in each photo. So you're gonna be able to see how the colorway varies from base to base and just how it takes up the dye, because each base, even though it's the same, dyed up on the same colorway, there is slight variance, and I'm really looking forward to showing you exactly what they look like. Ever since hiring the employees, I don't wind yarn hardly ever, but I really wanted to wind this yarn specifically for the collection because it's fun to do it every once in a while, and I really love doing it on like mohair and suri. It's really fun. So yeah, I'm going to be winding up some of this yarn so that we can get on with the photo shoot. Now it's time to move on to some full skeins that need to be wound. As you can see, pretty much everything is already wound up, but these are just a few skeins that I have left to wind, but luckily it'll go pretty quick. I always cut off all the ties that I use to hold the yarn while it's in the like sink and while it's getting washed and all of that stuff, so that they don't get tangled up. So as you can see, I'm getting my props laid out. This is the first colorway I'm going to be photographing, but I wanted to talk a little bit about the process that I used for drying these roses. So it was super simple. I just picked up a bouquet at my local market, and all you have to do is make sure that there is nothing wet on the leaves. So I basically took the bouquet and unwrapped it, and then just made sure that like all of this was wiped down, all of the leaves, so that everything looked good. And then after that, I hung them up. And as you can see, I have some like pretty silly looking knots. And the only thing I had on hand was some Gallivant that I had wound, which is this colorway. It's yarn, ironically. And now I'm going to take these scissors and cut them. So yeah, it just literally hung up for 2 weeks. I tied it onto a hanger and left it in a dark room, and that was it. And I also have some really pretty garnish in here as well, some of this, and of course I had to do some roses. I think this is going to be such a beautiful little photo shoot. So I wanted to give you an update on my final photo shoot setup, since I sort of rearranged everything for a while, but I have this backdrop right underneath it, and then this is what I'm going to be using for my actual base info shoots. And then I really love how it looks against this cream. It's pretty much white, but it appears cream once it's contrasted against color. But I wanted to kind of show you how I have this set up. So over here I have, it's not finalized yet, but sort of roughly put together. So I have all of my different bases all sort of just jumbled up, because this is where I want the eye to focus, is in the center here, with this skein in particular. So I always want to have a center focus to my photos when I'm taking them. But I also have my props set up into 3 groups kind of. So I have this one here, which is my lace and then some letters. And then I have, of course, my dried roses over here. And then I have just my wax seals and then my stamp, which I haven't finished setting that up yet, but you can kind of get the general idea. I always like to have sort of 3 places and then this. So that's pretty much what I want to do for the photo. This is going to be the cover photo, and the first 5 photos are going to kind of resemble this prop setup. And then, like I said, I'm going to move them down to this area to do the actual base info shoots. So yeah, I'm really excited to do this on a lot of them. And in case you're wondering when this beautiful rose paper comes into play, I'm going to try to show this with one hand, but this rose paper I really want to save for my tonals. So I wanted the speckled variegated colorways to have a completely different photo shoot from the tonal colorways. So this is going to be tonals, possibly even the sock sets photo shoot. I haven't decided yet. And then the minis are going to be photographed on this edge here. I love how it's just a rough hewn edge. It just adds even more texture to the photos. And here's just a few of the minis, little sneak peek. And a lot of other yarn in the studio because it's a mess right now. As you can see, so much yarn everywhere. All of the colorways sorted, and I am going to be working on photographing the rest of these colorways within the next few days. And as you can see over here, I have my colorway stationery all ready to go and be photographed, but I will go ahead and share the photos that I've taken so far on the next slide, and I cannot wait for your feedback to just let me know what you think. I've had so much fun experimenting with a different photographic style than I normally gravitate towards. So all of the yarn that is behind me, as well as all of this yarn is currently on sale and 15% off. So be sure to shop that sale using the code SUMMERSALE15. It'll get you 15% off all of the yarn behind me as well as the yarn over there. There's so many colorways in stock, and this summer I had a really fun time restocking all of my favorite colorways, all of your all's favorite colorways as well. And it was just a really fun summer, and I'm excited to clear some of these shelves and get some of this yarn out. So be sure to follow the link down below if you want to shop that sale, and don't forget the code SUMMERSALE15, and that will get you 15% off. And that is for all of my colorways. The only thing that's not included are my Christmas advents as well as baskets. But now I'm going to be busy packaging up all of your orders because I have so many labels here ready to get shipped out and packaged up. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you really loved it and want to stick around for more content that is going to come your way once every 2 weeks, then be sure to like and subscribe down below. And yeah, I will see you all in a few weeks. Bye.